Killer whales, or orcas, are among the most intelligent and formidable creatures in the ocean. Terrifying attacks by orcas on boats off the Iberian Peninsula have sent shockwaves through the boating community in Europe. Now, finally, scientists have worked out the answer to why the killer whales are behaving this way. Orcas in captivity have been known to attack people and even sometimes tragically kill them, with 3 recorded deaths. But in the wild, there have never been any such incidents reported. Orcas, or killer whales, are the most powerful apex predators of the oceans. They can take down the most feared great white shark, killing them easily and devouring their nutrient-dense livers, just tossing the rest of the carcass aside. But the largest member of the dolphin family was never considered a threat to humans, until now. Imagine how horrifying it would be if you were just sailing through the calm waters of the Iberian Peninsula off of Spain. The wind whispers through the sails, and the ocean seems tranquil. Then it happens. A thunderous jolt. Your boat lurches violently. Panic, you glance overboard to see a sleek black fin slicing through the water. Then there's another crash, and yet another. You're definitely under attack. The rudder splinters as a pod of orcas surrounds you, their intentions clear and terrifying. It's scary to say, but these aren't random encounters. And we don't want to be a random encounter, so hit that subscribe button to meet again next week. Now, starting in 2020, sailors along the coasts of Spain, Portugal, France, and Morocco began reporting incidents that were as baffling as they were alarming. Orcas were striking their boats, not aimlessly, but with clear intent. Over the next 4 years, the number of attacks surged. The pattern was unmistakable. Medium-sized sailboats were the primary targets. No more than 29 feet long, they were being targeted, with the rudders bearing the brunt of the damage. Over 670 boats have been targeted to date. Some were left battered, while others sank to the ocean floor. What could drive these apex predators to behave so boldly, so destructively? Is this calculated revenge, a cry for help, or something entirely unexpected? Stick around as we uncover the shocking truth behind these unprecedented attacks. In one particularly harrowing encounter on Halloween night 2023, a Polish yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar became the focus of an orca pod's relentless assault. For 45 minutes, the crew fought to steer clear as the animals rammed the vessel repeatedly. When the rudder finally shattered, the yacht was left defenseless, ultimately sinking near the port of Tangier. Why were these intelligent creatures focusing their efforts on boats, specifically their rudders? Theories began swirling, and the world demanded answers. Could these attacks be driven by revenge? Some pointed to humanity's troubled history with orcas. For centuries, these magnificent animals were hunted ruthlessly. In the Salish Sea, orcas were nicknamed blackfish by fishermen who blamed them for depleting salmon stocks. These fishermen didn't stop at resentment. They launched brutal campaigns to exterminate the animals, leaving many pods decimated. Orcas were also slaughtered in larger numbers for their precious oil, fueling an industry that left scars on their populations. Could the Iberian orcas be acting on some kind of collective memory, exacting retribution for past injustices? The idea captivated the public, but scientists dismissed it. Orcas are intelligent, but the notion of them harboring such deliberate vengeance was deemed unlikely. So, if revenge wasn't the answer, what was driving this behavior? To solve the mystery, governments and marine experts from Spain and Portugal launched a comprehensive investigation. Biologists, marine industry professionals, and conservationists joined forces, analyzing every detail of the incidents. They noted several critical patterns. Firstly, the attacks were anything but random. The orcas were specifically targeting sailboats of certain dimensions. More intriguingly, they seemed obsessed with rudders. One sailor recounted how the orcas dismantled the rudder of his catamaran and swam off with it, playing as though it were a trophy. This wasn't a display of aggression, it was something else entirely. Curiosity, perhaps? Or was it fun? To understand the behavior, scientists turn to what they know about orcas, their love for play, and their ability to learn from each other. Could this be some kind of game that had spiraled into a dangerous obsession? Orcas are known for their intelligence and social structures, which include an uncanny ability to mimic behaviors and develop cultural fads. One of the most famous examples occurred in 1987, when a female orca in the Northwest Pacific began swimming with a dead salmon balanced on her head. This odd behavior quickly spread through her pod and even to neighboring pods, with other orcas copying her salmon hat antics. Within 6 weeks, the trend vanished, never to return. Could the rudder attacks be a similar fad? Scientists found this theory compelling. What likely began with a single orca's interaction with a boat rudder may have quickly spread through the pod, evolving into a widespread behavioral trend. But why the fascination with rudders specifically? To answer this, the investigators studied the anatomy and behavior of the Iberian orca pod. What they discovered added a fascinating twist to the story. Unlike some orca populations that struggle to survive due to dwindling food supplies, the Iberian orcas were thriving. They had abundant access to fish, and their pod included a significant number of juveniles, young orcas brimming with energy and curiosity. With no immediate threats or food shortages, these orcas had more time to socialize, explore, and play. Scientists theorized that one orca, likely a juvenile, discovered the thrill of striking a rudder. The feedback, the vibration, the splintering wood, the sensation of resistance may have felt rewarding. When a rudder came loose, it became an irresistible toy, and just like that, the behavior spread throughout the pod. But orca playtime isn't always harmless. In the waters off Washington, USA, a group of orcas has been observed engaging in a chilling game with harbor porpoises. These much smaller cetaceans are chased, tossed, and battled around, sometimes fatally. While scientists believe this behavior isn't rooted in malice, it's a stark reminder of how rough orca play can be. Sometimes orcas are seen launching seals into the air with thunderous strikes of their tails, not to eat them, but it seems like just for fun. For boat owners, the rudder attacks feel anything but playful. A 6-ton predator traveling at 35 miles per hour can cause catastrophic damage. And while knowing that the behavior is likely a game offers some comfort, it doesn't solve the problem of broken boats and endangered sailors. If these attacks are a fad, will they simply fade away? Or do humans need to intervene to protect both boats and orcas? Scientists began testing potential solutions. One proposed method involved modifying boat propellers to make them abrasive and bumpy, hoping the texture would deter the orcas. Early results were promising. Boats with these modifications experienced fewer attacks. However, the approach wasn't foolproof, and concerns arose about potential harm to the animals. But what if there was a simple, almost unbelievable way to deter these marine titans? The answer might just be as humble as sand. That's right, sand. This unlikely ally could mean the difference between life and a deadly encounter with an orca. But how does it work, and why do these majestic predators avoid it? Orcas rely heavily on their echolocation abilities to hunt and navigate. This sophisticated biological sonar system sends sound waves bouncing off objects, helping orcas see their underwater world. But when a fine layer of sand is dispersed in the water, it creates an acoustic disturbance, a cloud of tiny particles that scatters and absorbs these sound waves. In essence, the sand disrupts their most vital sense, leaving them disoriented and reluctant to approach. For kayakers, divers, and swimmers caught in orca territory, carrying a small bag of sand to dump into the water could serve as an ingenious deterrent. But why would a creature as intelligent as an orca be stopped by something so simple? Experts believe orcas avoid situations where their vision and echolocation are compromised, as it increases their vulnerability. By creating this cloud of confusion, humans can exploit the orca's natural instincts to stay cautious and avoid unknown risks. For now, scientists recommend sailors take preventative measures, avoid known conflict zones, keep at least 1 to 2 miles away from orcas when spotted, and report any encounters immediately. Loud noises, which some have used to scare the animals, are strongly discouraged, as orcas may interpret them as part of the game, encouraging further interactions. The good news is that the attacks appear to be tapering off. Scientists believe the rudder bashing fad may have reached its peak. Just as with the salmon hats of 1987, the behavior could vanish as quickly as it emerged. But for now, caution remains the best strategy. What makes orcas so endlessly fascinating and sometimes terrifying is their intelligence and adaptability. Their behaviors challenge our understanding of animal cognition and remind us that the ocean is full of mysteries we've yet to unravel. These rudder attacks, born from curiosity and playfulness, show how even the most intelligent animals can surprise us in ways we never imagined. What will orcas teach us next? Only time will tell. Until then, remember, the ocean belongs to them as much or more than as it does to us. Respect it, and perhaps they'll let you sail another day.